Year 9 Project. Year 1, Broadcast 4. Assemble your survival team. This is Shepard. If you've been following along, you've accepted that collapse is coming. You've started thinking about where you need to be. Maybe you've even begun assessing your location, running the numbers. And that's when it hits you. You're doing this alone. Maybe you have a spouse, a partner, a family member who's on board. Maybe you've got a friend who gets it. But when you really think about what's coming, about standing watch, growing food, maintaining shelter, defending your position, you realize something terrifying. You can't do this by yourself. I get it. I've been there. That moment when you understand that all your preparation, all your planning, all your skills, they mean nothing if you're a single point of failure in a system that's about to experience total breakdown. Here's what I know. When collapse hits, the most vulnerable person isn't the one without supplies. It's the one without people. You need a core team, 3 to 5 people you can count on. People who share your vision and have your back. And that's what we're going to build today. The problem: you can't survive alone. Let me tell you something the survival fantasy industry doesn't want you to hear. That image you have in your head, the rugged individualist with his bunker full of beans and his arsenal of weapons holding off the world by himself, he's dead in 6 months, maybe less. I know that's not what the movies told you. That's not what the YouTube preppers with their tactical gear want you to believe. But here's the reality you're starting to feel in your gut. You can't stand watch 24 hours a day. You can't grow food, maintain shelter, haul water, and defend your position simultaneously. You get sick, you get injured, you make one bad decision, and it's over. 2 people? Now you can rotate watches. You can specialize. Someone can recover while the other keeps things running. 3 to 5 people? Now you have resilience. Now you have adaptability. Now when one person is down, the team doesn't collapse. You know this. You can feel it. That gnawing awareness that you need people you can trust. You need a tribe, and that tribe begins with your core team. The plan. The 3 roles framework. Here's the framework that's going to help you identify who belongs on your core team. The 3 roles. Every successful group needs 3 primary functions filled. Not 3 personality types, not 3 skill sets. 3 roles that make a team resilient. The pathfinder, the builder, and the envoy. Understanding these roles will help you figure out who you are and who you need to find to complete your team. Role 1, the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder is your visionary, not in some abstract spiritual sense, but in a practical, strategic sense. This is the person who answers, where are we going? What are we building together? What do we stand for? When you're exhausted and questioning why you're doing this, the Pathfinder reminds you. When morale drops and someone wants to quit, the Pathfinder brings you back to the mission. When the work gets hard, and it will, the Pathfinder keeps everyone oriented. The Pathfinder isn't necessarily the boss, but they're the one who holds the vision when everyone else is lost in the weeds. If this sounds like you, if you're naturally the person who sees the big picture and keeps others focused on what matters, you're probably a Pathfinder. Role 2. The Builder. The Builder is your doer. While the Pathfinder is looking at the horizon, the Builder is looking at the ground in front of them. This is the person who asks, what needs to happen today? What's the immediate obstacle? How do we solve this concrete problem right now? The Builder is up before everyone else. They're the one who makes sure the job gets done, not tomorrow, not when we get around to it, but now. Now, listen. Everyone on your team needs to be willing to work, to swing a hammer, haul water, dig a ditch. But the Builder is the one who turns vision into reality, who has the skills and the drive to make things happen. If you're the person who gets frustrated with talk and just wants to do something, you're probably a builder. Role 3. The Envoy. The Envoy is perhaps the most underestimated role and the one that will save your team when you least expect it. This is the person who builds and maintains relationships within the team and, eventually, with people outside your core group. The Envoy is the one others naturally confide in, the one who smooths over conflicts before they become fractures, the one who notices when someone is struggling and checks in on them. When your team is stressed, when personalities clash, when someone feels left out, the Envoy holds you together. If you're the person people come to with their problems, the one who naturally builds trust and facilitates communication, you're probably an Envoy. And when it's time to expand your team and begin to grow into a tribe, the Envoy will be the one who leads that recruiting process. You need all 3 of these roles filled in your core team. Maybe one person fills 2 roles. Maybe you're still looking for someone to complete the triangle. That's okay, but understand this. Every person you add to your core team multiplies your capability. You alone? Vulnerable. Limited. One mistake from failure. You plus 2 others? Your power doesn't triple. It multiplies. Each person brings knowledge, skills, perspectives you don't have. Each person covers your blind spots. Each person keeps things running when you're down. So here's your first step. Figure out which role you naturally fill. Then start thinking about who in your life might fill the others. Building your core team. Once you know your role, here's how you actually build your core team. Step 1. Identify potential team members. Look at the people already in your life. Who's paying attention to what's happening? Who asks hard questions? Who's already preparing, even if they don't talk about it much? You're not looking for a lot of people, for now. You're looking for 3 to 5 people who you could trust with your life. Because that's exactly what you'll be doing. Step 2, have the conversation. This is where most people freeze up. What do I even say? Here's what you say. Tell them the truth. I think things are getting worse. I'm preparing for some major disruptions in the next decade. I'm putting together a small team of people I trust to work on this together. Are you interested? Some will think you're crazy. That's fine. They're not your people. Some will be relieved someone finally said it out loud. Those are your people. Step 3. Start small and build trust. You don't need to commit to building a compound together on day 1. Start with regular meetings, weekly check-ins, shared skills training, maybe a weekend project together. You're testing compatibility, you're building trust, you're learning how you work together. Because here's what matters more than skills or supplies or even location. Can you trust each other when things fall apart? Do you share the same core values? Can you communicate when you disagree? Will this person show up when it's hard? Those questions get answered through time together, through shared work, through small challenges before the big ones arrive. Vision, values, and culture. Once you've got your core team forming, even if it's just you and one other person, here's what comes next. You need to define what you're building together. Your first real task as a team isn't stockpiling supplies. It's answering the hard questions. What are our values? What's our vision? What does our future together actually look like? I know this sounds abstract, but here's why it's critical. When resources get scarce, and they will, you need to already know what your team prioritizes. When a hard decision needs to be made at 2 a.m., you need shared principles that everyone understands. When someone's behavior becomes a problem, you need established norms. Have these conversations now. Write them down. Argue about them if you need to. Find your disagreements before the crisis forces you to discover them at the worst possible moment. And then you build your team culture. Set up a communication system. Signal, shared calendar, whatever works. Establish a regular meeting rhythm. Weekly is ideal. Share meals together when you can. Work on projects together, small at first, bigger as trust builds. Figure out how you make decisions as a group. Practice communicating when you disagree. You're learning to function as a unit. How you work together now, when the stakes are low, determines how you work together when the stakes are life and death. Get this right, and you have a foundation that can handle anything. Get it wrong, and your team fractures exactly when you need it most. Call to action. So here's what you do this week. Step 1. Figure out which role you fill. Are you the pathfinder, the builder, or the envoy? Be honest with yourself. Step 2. Identify at least one person who could be part of your core team. Someone who's already paying attention. Someone who's willing to do the work. Step 3. Have the conversation. This week. Tell them what you're building. See if they're ready. Some will say yes. Most will say no. That's fine. You only need 3 to 5 people, but you need them soon. Because building a team that actually works takes time. Years, not months. And you have 9 years before collapse. Start now. Success versus failure. Let me paint you 2 pictures. Picture 1. It's year 9. Collapse has arrived, but you're not alone. You have your core team. People you've worked with for years, who know you, who trust you, who have your back. You rotate watches. You specialize. When one of you is down, the others carry the load. You've already weathered disagreements and come out stronger. You know how to communicate, how to make decisions, how to support each other. You're not just surviving. You're a functioning unit. Picture 2. It's year 9. Collapse has arrived. You're alone with your supplies and your plans. You're exhausted from standing watch alone. You're injured and no one's coming to help. You've made a mistake. Just one. But there's no one to catch you. And the isolation is breaking you faster than the physical challenges. I started alone. Most of us did. There's no shame in that, but I'm not alone anymore. And by the time this is over, neither will you be. Look around your life. Who's asking the right questions? Who's already preparing? Who's ready to build something with you? Those are your people. Find them. Talk to them. Start building. You have 9 years. That's enough time to build a core team that can survive anything. But only if you start now. This is Shepherd. Stay awake, stay alive, and I'll talk to you in the next transmission.